Hi, Lancers. This slideshow is for people who were absent the day that we went over the expectations for our Canada slideshow. I'm going to try to go through this very quickly, give you an idea of what your slideshow should look like and how you can get the grade that you want to get. So if you're on this phase, it means you are done writing your paragraph or essay. I want to talk about what your slideshow should have. So here are the requirements. You need a title slide, and the title slide should have the title of your presentation. You decide on a fitting title and your name. Your slides should have information. You've already written the information. It is your paragraph and essay broken up into slides. I'll show you how it should be broken up down below. Your slideshow should also have pictures, and they should be carefully chosen to support and enhance your writing. Your pictures should contain captions as well if you want to get up in the 7-8 category. And finally, they should be organized. Information and pictures should be neatly organized and make good use of space. So you want to work on organizing your slideshow well. So this slideshow, you will get 3 grades for it. One will be for the writing. That's the information, the paragraph or essay you wrote, how well you answered the prompt and showed that you showed what you know about the topic. The second grade will be for how well you wrote. Topic sentences, transitions, capitalization, punctuation, spelling, all that. The third grade will be for the slideshow itself and how well it communicates information through its pictures and organization. So everybody's slideshow will be 6 slides long. Here's what should be on each slide. If you did the paragraph, you're looking over here. If you did the essay, you're looking over here. For both, this first slide should be your title slide with your title and name. The second slide is your introduction. It should have your lead where you describe climate and then your topic sentence or thesis statement for the essay. For the essay, it'll be in your introduction paragraph. If you did the paragraph, it'll be the first 2 or 3 sentences of your paragraph. Slides 3, 4, and 5 are your 3-star ideas. For most people, slide 3 will be about all your information about population, 4 will be transportation, and 5 will be for how climate affects food. And then the last slide will be your conclusion. For paragraph people, that might be 1 sentence. For essay people, that's your conclusion paragraph. And I'll show you an example here in a minute. All right, a real quick Google Slides do's and don'ts. If you wanted to get a good grade for the organization of your slideshow, here are some things you want to do or not do. This is for a different topic, not this project, but the do's and don'ts still apply. So we'll skip this one. When doing Google Slides, please don't use a fancy kind of text like this, a fancy font, or a fancy cursive font like this. This is difficult to read. Also, this is a fun font if you were doing a slideshow about Halloween, but we're not. We're doing a more formal informational slideshow. So pick a font that is easy to read and looks a little more professional. There's lots of different ones to choose from, but make sure it's one that is fitting to the purpose of what we're doing, which is informational writing. All right, don't have a light colored background with light colored writing that's really hard to read, or a dark colored background with dark colored writing. You want contrast. So pick either a light background with dark writing or a dark background with light reading, or dark background with light writing, not reading, sorry. Okay, if you're going to have a title for your slide, don't have your title look like this. Have it look more like this. So the title of this slide is job description, but it's not really a title. You want to make the title stand out. You don't have to have titles for your slides, but if you do, make it stand out by making it bigger or bolder or underlining it. Also, don't leave a bunch of empty space on your slide. If you have empty space, you have 2 options. You can make the text bigger. This is the same text, just made bigger, easier to read. Or you can leave it the same size, but add pictures. Every slide will need pictures, but you could add more pictures if you have space. And that, I think, is the end of our do's and don'ts. So keeping those do's and don'ts in mind, let's look at a non-example of a slideshow. So this has some things wrong with it. First of all, if you're looking at this title slide, 1, it's missing a name. And 2, it's got some problems with capitalization. Canada is always capitalized, no matter where we write it. But in this case, since this is a title, provinces should also be capitalized. Your title should be capitalized, except for words like the, of, And the is capitalized if it's the first word in your title, but not if it comes later. So provinces and Canada should be capitalized. Next, let's look at the layout here. This is the introduction slide. We got a lumpy space. They have space here, here, here. They could make the text bigger. They could have dragged this picture over, added a couple more. Also, this picture kind of has to do with Arctic Canada, but doesn't really set the scene of anything that we saw. This is really more of an ocean picture with ice floes floating on it. So the picture could be a little more fitting to our topic. Check out the next slide. So this one's about transportation. Couple of problems. One, notice down here, the text is hanging off of the page because they didn't have the text box all the way on the background. So make sure everything that you want on your slide is actually on the slide. Also, this is about transportation, dogs, sleds, snowmobiles, planes, but our picture does not show transportation at all. So we could have picked a better picture here. Again, for this one, finally, climate affects food. They eat seal, fish, and other animals. This should probably be more of a picture of them hunting or eating seal and fish, not polar bears floating on an iceberg. Beautiful picture, but really doesn't relate to our topic here. Also, I want you to look at the writing here versus here versus here, how it's all different. You want some uniformity. So this is wide and single-spaced. This is narrow and single-spaced. This is narrow and double-spaced. You really should have all your writing be single-spaced on your slides and fill up the space that you have for your writing. So this one, the writing is a little better. We got one problem with the writing though. They have a period at the beginning of their sentence. This happens because students are copying and pasting from your paragraph or essay onto the slide. So make sure you're grabbing only what you want, and also you're grabbing everything that you want. And when you put it on your slide, go back through and proofread. Make sure you have that you got what you needed. Also keep in mind that spell check doesn't catch everything. This sentence says they bring food on snowmobiles to get to Gown. This should be town. Didn't catch the mistake because gown is a word. So make sure you read through your slides. These pictures are a little better. These will probably be in the 5-6 range. To get into the 7-8 range, we want our pictures to really look like Northern Canada. What are the images look like in some of the videos we watched and when we think of Northern Canada? And I'll show you some examples of that in a second. All right, so let's look quickly through a slideshow that is a good example. So this one, title, all capitalized with the name. We got our introduction. This is a fitting picture because we're talking about Northern Canada and it's showing the reader what we're talking about when we say Northern Canada. They found a map. It wasn't labeled, so they added their own labels to it with the arrows. It also has a caption that helps us understand what Northern Canada is better. Then we get into population. The text is nice and big. It's well organized. They have a picture, but also a chart. They found a pie chart that really fits with what they're writing about. Captions for both of them. The one about transportation, 3 pictures, and they're all 3 different kinds of transportation, which is really nice. And then the hunting, I like this one a lot. I think it's well organized. Each picture has a caption and you know which picture each caption goes with because of the arrows. They also did 3 different kinds of food and the pictures look like Northern Canada. So for example, the ice fishing one, you could find a picture of someone ice fishing on City Park Lake in Fort Collins, Colorado. I've seen people doing it, but this one looks like it could be Northern Canada. And then finally, the conclusion. Okay, so that'd be like a 7-8 example. Real quick, I want to show you the rubric. It's very simple and how I'm going to grade the slideshow grade. First, I'm going to look at the pictures. The 5-6 means the pictures reinforce the information. They are closely related. They complement it. They help the reader understand the information even better. Pictures aren't there just to be pretty. They're there to help the reader understand. And then a 7-8 would be the pictures are relevant to Northern Canada. So they look like Northern Canada. They greatly reinforce the information and include captions. I'm also going to look at the organization. For 5-6, the slides are well organized. 7-8, slides make good use of space and are very well organized. So really a really creative and effective organization of your slides. All right, so lastly, to get everything you need for the slideshow, you can go to the Google Slideshow assignment. There are 4 things attached. This here that says Canada Slideshow, this is what you are going to open, and you're going to create your slideshow here in this. I've given you 6 slides, a title slide, an introduction slide, and I tell you what goes on each of those slides. If you want to just delete that, you can, but make sure you have 6 slides with all those things on it. And then over here is the Canada Slideshow requirements, the little paper loop paper I was just showing you. This is the rubric I just showed you, so you don't need to open those unless you want to look at them again. And then finally, this is optional. You do not have to use this, but it's a 7-minute little tutorial I made on how to use Google Slides. So if you don't remember how to put in a text box for your captions, how to put in the writing, or how to add pictures, how to change the way the font, the writing looks, make it bigger, or to change the color or change the font, maybe just give this a quick watch beforehand, and it will show you how to do some basic things within Google Slides. Okay, I know that was quick. If you have any questions, just come on up and ask me, and good luck with your slideshow.